and I don't think this book needed to be 800 pages long. If you were looking for a bunch of smut, it is not in this book. The twists keep coming and so many crazy things are happening. Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, I am going to be vlogging my experience of reading Sarah J. Maas's highly anticipated adult sci-fi fantasy debut novel, Crescent City, The House of Earth and Blood. Okay, so I have somehow managed to get my hands on an ARC, and this thing is a tome. It is 800 pages long. It is an enormous beast, but I'm really excited for it. Sarah J. Maas is controversial, but I really enjoy her writing. I know it's not perfect, but I like it a lot. And thanks to my friend and patron, Isabella, over the Feminist Bookworm on Instagram, I have this in my possession. Best Christmas present ever. I freaked out when I opened it on Instagram. If I can get a hold of that footage, I will try to include it here. I love this, Bethany. To be unboxed immediately on Instagram. Okay, Isabella, you got it. I'm doing it. Let's do this. I'm excited. All right, let's see. Merry Bookmas. Oh, that's so cute. Oh. Isabella, thank you so much. You're super sweet, and I have had a wonderful time doing Buddy Reads with you as well. That's cool. Okay, I'm really excited to see what's in here, because I, have no idea, but I know she's been really excited about it. So, this wrapping paper is adorable. I sent her something also, but definitely did not have the time to, wrap it all cutely. So, let's see. Oh my god! Oh my god. Yes. Oh. You are my favorite right now. This is amazing. Guys, it's the Sarah J. Maas. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. It's Crescent City. Oh. So if you can tell, I have started reading it, but just barely. I have read the first 25 pages, so I wanted to give you some initial thoughts. Whew, this world is a lot. It's intense. There's a lot of major world building that we're getting in the first pages. So I read the first 25 pages pretty slowly, but I am super intrigued by the characters, by the world. I'm excited to know more. Also, there are spaces in the front of the book for maps and other informative lists to come, and I could see those being very useful. So in the first part of the book, we're being introduced to Bryce Quinlan, who I think is going to be our main character. She is half human, half fae, and this is set in a fairly complex world where there are lots of different magical beings as well as humans. So there are shifters, there are angels, there are demons, there are vampires, there are satyrs, there are regular humans, there's the fae, and so that I think is going to be interesting with a more complex political system that I'm interested to know more about. It is also kind of a blend of science fiction and fantasy, which I'm excited about because I tend to like when authors do that. It's set in a more futuristic city where there is also magic. So we're getting this interesting mix of technology and magic, and I think you can get some interesting things explored with that. So I'm curious to see what she does with those elements in this book. And we also are introduced to Bryce's best friend, who is the super powerful werewolf shifter. And she is an interesting character. She kind of reminds me of Kate Daniels from the Alona Andrews series. Not that I've read very many books in that. I've only read the first one so far, but I'm getting some similar vibes, which I think is cool. And I like that a female friendship is centered, at least at the beginning. So yeah, so far I am enjoying it. I am interested to see where it goes. There's political intrigue. There's a lot of pieces getting slotted into place. And I have a feeling probably in the next several chapters, the pace will pick up once I get a better handle on the world. Hey guys, so I think it's December 28th. It's Saturday after Christmas. I finished reading part 1, which is the first 90 pages. And I have some thoughts. It's really interesting. Okay, so there are definitely things where you can see that it is Sarah J. Maas. You have powerful friend groups, although I will say we're getting a lot more diversity in this book than what we've gotten in previous books from her. So she seems to be taking to heart some of the criticisms against her work, which is nice. One of Bryce's best friends is a dancer who sounds like she's supposed to be Black. Another one is an assassin who I think is probably Asian. So that's cool. It's definitely intriguing. The plot is picking up. There are twists and turns. It's pretty dark and violent, and there was like a big thing that happened early on that I wasn't expecting, and I'm super curious to see where it goes next. There's drugs in this, which you don't really get in her other books for YA, so in that sense it feels older, but it's like an interesting bridge. It feels kind of new adulty. Yeah, I'm enjoying it though. I'm curious to see where it goes from here. Okay, I just had to share because I am living for this line. Just so you know, I don't do possessive and aggressive. Yes, and thank you. Can we not have crazy alpha males? I am kind of loving Bryce as a character. She just does whatever the hell she wants. Hey guys, okay, so I am kind of like flying through this today. I'm on page 183. Some really interesting things have been happening and like a crazy stuff. We're getting hints at revelations. There is a like murder mystery subplot to this, so it really feels in some ways like an urban fantasy. I think not quite what I was expecting, but I'm really liking it. It's really interesting. Also, for you bookish candle lovers out there, apparently Bryce smells like lilac and nutmeg, which is kind of an odd combination, actually. I'm not sure how I feel about that combination, but there you go. I'm really into this. And for people who are expecting this to just be full of like lots and lots of smut or something, so far, I mean, I'm sure there will be at some point, but so far, no, not really. I mean, although our main character hooks up with people, but there's not like, it's like a heavy plot. It's really good. I'm enjoying it pretty thoroughly. Page 183, so I will update you guys more later.
We're going ice skating.
Ice skating? Let's see your skates. Whoa. Cool. Going ice skating. You gonna have hot chocolate later? Yeah.
Yeah, hot cocoa.
Hot cocoa.
Yeah.
Yum.
Oh, the Canada.
Oh, did you have fun ice skating? Hey, so it is December 30th. This is where I'm at. So I'm on page 254. I am really thoroughly enjoying this, and there are a lot of like hints at interesting things that I'm excited to see what happens, like reveals that I'm kind of expecting. I think it's pretty clear that there is going to be something special and hidden about Bryce, our main character. Who's surprised? Probably nobody. This is what she does with her heroines, but it's a whole lot of fun. Yeah, I'm just like really enjoying this. It's long. It is definitely long. Like, could it be shorter? Sure. But am I mad about it? So far, no. Like, it's definitely a long one. Like, you have to settle into it, but I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, I'm hoping to make some significant progress today on the book, and I will update you guys more when I get there. But yeah, like it's super fun. It definitely feels a lot more like an urban fantasy than anything we've gotten from her in the past. But I think if you like urban fantasy, this is going to be worth trying. Happy New Year's, guys. So I am sitting down with dinner, and I'm going to do some more reading in here. I had hoped to make a lot more progress, and then last night I like fell asleep while reading. So I have not too much more left to read to finish part 2, and then maybe I'll hop on and update you guys. We have like a very chill New Year's planned at home. Hope you guys have had a great New Year's Eve as well. I think some like chili with avocado. I just finished reading part 2. Big revelation at the end of it. Very, very interesting. This is definitely like an urban fantasy with a murder mystery type plot. I will say it's definitely longer than it needs to be. This for sure could have been edited down, but I don't know how much people want to edit Sarah J. Maas these days because she's such a big bestseller. And I don't hate it. Like, I'm still enjoying it, but for sure it could have been more tightly edited. It doesn't need to be as long as it is, but I'm still enjoying it. I'm liking the world. I'm liking the characters. It was a slower paced section, but like some very fascinating and entertaining things have happened, and I'm curious to see what's next. And if it's noisy, excuse my husband playing Halo in the background. This is a really interesting book. There are definitely a lot of scenes put in here that are just like entertaining with the characters that I think she just probably had fun writing. They're not necessary to the plot development. Often they're not even really as super necessary to the character development, but there's a lot of like over-the-top banter. There's, Bryce showing off her skills at the gun range with all the guys, and like, she's like one of those not like other girl characters on some level. It's fine. Like, it's fun. Like, I can see why some people are probably going to be irritated with some of that, but I'm enjoying it. So it is New Year's Day. I'm doing some more reading in this. I just read a scene, and I am pretty sure I know who a character we just met is supposed to be, even though we haven't outright said it yet. But I don't want to say anything because of spoilers, but I'm pretty sure this character is an important person, and it's setting it up for like another side relationship. Anyway, it's yikes. It's just a whole lot of fun. Maybe I'll update you guys a little bit later. Well, they're about to summon a demon, because that's always a great idea. Also, guys, this is where we're at. So we're more than halfway in. There is plenty of escalating tension between Bryce and her love interest, and they even had a moment that almost got them to kissing, but not quite. So, yeah, if you were looking for a bunch of smut, it is not in this book. There's a lot of, like, teasing and, like, will they, won't they? But so far, no, nothing. And we're on page 469, so maybe at some point near the end of the book, we'll see. I'll let you know. Page 590 is where you get the first kind of smutty scene happening. It'll happen eventually, but yeah, it's not till pretty late on. The main point of this is not that, but for those of you who are wondering, page 590, at least in the ARC version. But if you're looking for like shock value or something, that's not what it is. Like, I don't think that's the point of this, and I think that it's done at a place where it really makes sense for the relationship, where they have been through a lot together, they've really developed their relationship, and this feels like the next right step. It's not like just for the hell of having it in there. So, yeah, like, I think the timing makes sense. Oh my god, what? What just happened? Okay, so at the end of part 3, there's some like major revelations and twists that I did not see coming and wasn't expecting, and maybe I should have put the pieces together, but like, what? Where is this gonna go? Where is this going now? Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, but I'm not gonna spoil anything. Okay, one more chapter, and then we get to part 4 and the last 200 pages, and I don't know what to think right now, guys. Like, the twists keep coming, and so many crazy things are happening. Like, so far, I would say the last third of this book, the pace is really quick. Lots of things are happening that are crazy. A lot of really interesting information and relationship developments, and like, oh my goodness. So I have like a little over 150 pages left. Honestly, I might finish the whole thing tonight, because I like don't want to put it down. Oh my god, you guys. Holy crap. Oh my god. Like, the things that are happening at the end of this book, I just like, oh dang, like this is ending with a serious bang. That is wow. So wild. I will say we did get a very, very long villain monologuing in here. maybe a little longer than it needed to be, but it was still interesting, so I'm kind of okay with it. But then, holy shit. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading, because this is crazy. Okay, so I did it, guys. I finished the book. Wow. That was seriously a wild ride. The last part of this book is just so many things are happening. I have a lot of thoughts about this, and I don't know if I should do like a separate book review video. Overall, I think this is really, really good. I think for people who just generally don't get along with Sarah J. Maas's writing, you know, like, they're probably still not gonna love this, but I really, really liked it. My only real complaint with this book is that I do think it's too long. I think that the first 2/3 of it could easily be cut down. She just gets a little bit long-winded sometimes in her descriptions, and I don't think this book needed to be 800 pages long. I think it definitely could have been more like 6 or 650. But other than that, I really think she's done a great job of including way more diversity in terms of character representation. I'm hoping in the next book in the series we get a little bit more development of some of the characters of color, but we do have some significant side characters who are not white, several of them, which I think is great. We have a couple of queer characters. Again, I would like to see that developed a little bit more than it is here. But in general, like, I think she's done a decent job of course correcting. We also don't get the same kind of toxic masculinity with like alpha male love interests in the same way. So I think a lot of the major issues that people have from a problematic standpoint is that, like, apart from just like whether people like her writing or not, like, I think she's done a really good job here with addressing those. In terms of the book, this is definitely solidly an urban fantasy. It is interesting, though. Like, it's surprising in some ways. For one thing, I think a lot of people who were thinking, oh, she's going from ACOTAR new adult to an adult novel, were expecting that there were just going to be a lot of smutty scenes in this book. And honestly, there aren't. In fact, you don't have like a full explicit on the page sex scene in this book. I think in book 2 we will probably get more of that. There are a couple of steamier scenes where, you know, stuff happens, but it's pretty late in the book. It is at that point, I think, important for character development and relationship development, and it doesn't really take over. And it's pretty like standard fare as well. Like, it's not for shock value or anything like that. So for people who were thinking that that's what they're going to get here, that's definitely not what you're getting. The other thing that I think is interesting is that it feels pretty clear that this is probably set in the same universe as her other books in both of her series. We do know from a small cameo in Kingdom of Ash, the last book in the Throne of Glass book, that the ACOTAR series is not set in the same world, but in the same universe as Throne of Glass. And I think it feels pretty clear that Crescent City is also set in that same universe, which is interesting. So if you've read the last 2 Throne of Glass books, Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash, I think some of the larger scale world building in this series is going to feel a little bit familiar. And so that I think is interesting. This really feels like something fresh and new that we're getting from her, but also in some ways rooted in things that she has done before. I really enjoyed it, though. I think she really leans into the things that she does well, and what she's really good at is character development and interpersonal relationships, and she leans into that here hard, and I think it works out really, really well for her. You can definitely see bits and pieces of things that you get in the ACOTAR series or in the Throne of Glass series. You have powerful friend groups, for example, are a thing that she clearly enjoys writing. We have a lot of intricate relationships between different people and a lot of like romantic connections that are developing between different people. Like, those are things she likes to do. She does them well. That's something that you're going to find here. I think this has more of the sort of epic scale that Throne of Glass does, more so than what I think you get with ACOTAR, which feels more heavily to me like a fantasy romance, whereas Throne of Glass is less that way and is more of a fantasy. And this, I think, feels more akin to the Throne of Glass series in that way, but still very, very different. This really does read like an adult urban fantasy. fantasy. You're going to be getting a lot more language in here, a lot of the F word and other things thrown around. You're going to get a lot more like drug and alcohol use, although I think it's handled in a really responsible way. The characters are a little bit older. Through most of this book, Bryce is 25, and you have other characters who are older than that. The issues that they're dealing with feel more like new adult to mid-adult issues. It doesn't feel YA to me. Could older teens read this and it be okay? Sure, probably, but it's very clear that they are not the target audience. Overall, I really liked this a lot. I had a really good time with it. It's not a perfect book. I do definitely think that somebody needs to edit her a little bit more, especially in the earlier parts of it. She gets a little long-winded. This did not need to be 800 pages, but that said, I liked it, and I think she did a lot of it really well, especially the final third of the book. There were so many like, oh my god moments, and just like so many things happening, revelations, and it was pretty wild. It was a good time. And you know, honestly, if the length is my main complaint with this, she's doing pretty dang good. I'm really happy with this. I need to probably sit on it for a little while, but I could see this maybe being a favorite of the year for me. It's definitely sitting in like that 4.5 to 5 star range though. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, does the fact that it's too long bring it down a little bit, like a half star, or does the fact that like the ending was so good and I had so much fun reading it bring it up? I don't know, like that's kind of where I'm sitting with this. I think if you like Sarah J. Maas, definitely go out and pick this one up. I think it is well worth reading. I think if you like urban fantasy, this also might be a nice place to start, especially if you don't mind longer books. I think I really liked it a lot, guys. Yeah, there it is, Crescent City, coming out in March. Hope you enjoyed this. I don't know how much interesting footage there was in here, but hopefully this was interesting and helpful for you guys. Talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know any of your thoughts or feelings on what I talked about here. Probably not about the book unless you're watching this a couple months later and it's been published, because people haven't read it yet. But yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Question of the day. Tell me your thoughts on Sarah J. Maas. Have you read her books? Do you like them? Do you not? People are very polarized over her, but I know she's not a perfect author, but I do really enjoy her books, and I think this is a very good one. Talk to me in the comments down below if you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.